former Made in Chelsea star Thompson has landed a gig that's a perfect fit for him. The reality TV favourite took to Instagram to announce his latest venture as the new official ambassador of ADHD UK, following his own diagnosis at the ripe age of 30. Now 31, Sam, who's in a relationship with Love Island alum and documentary filmmaker Zara McDermott, she's affectionately dubbed him an excitable puppy before, hasn't shied away from discussing his ADHD, even hailing it as his superpower on several occasions. In a candid chat with OK! Sam delves into how growing up unaware of his condition made him feel like an odd one out, his drive to boost awareness about ADHD, and some thrilling projects he's got lined up with his mate, Pete Wicks. Sam, congratulations on your new ambassador role for ADHD UK, what does it mean to you? I can't even put into words how grateful I feel to be involved with such an incredible charity. ADHD, as many of you know, has really affected me, and since opening up about my diagnosis I've been greeted with such warmth and support from the public. It's just meant the absolute world to me. I share ADHD UK's passion to raise awareness about the disorder, make information about it more accessible, champion the need for more research, and advocate for those who are struggling, so I'm delighted to be its official ambassador. You've already inspired so many people who have ADHD. What do you hope to achieve in your new role? I really hope to bring comfort, reassurance and support to those with a diagnosis. Before my diagnosis, I would feel alone and constantly question why I was seemingly experiencing things so differently to others, especially when I was at school. Since I've been on this journey and began to understand myself and ADHD more, I've learned that when we have the right resources and education, ADHD can be a superpower. I'm keen to get stuck into this role and be as active as I can. I hope to help bring more awareness, encourage conversations and change people's perceptions on ADHD. I have big ambitions. What are the key misconceptions about ADHD that you believe need to be addressed? I think there's so much we are in the dark about when it comes to the disorder. There's also a lot of misinformation. I'm confident that in partnership with ADHD UK we can help change this. One of the main problems is that it leads to people being labeled as naughty or lazy. They're not diagnosed, so are not provided with or taught with the right tools, so they end up believing these labels are accurate and often don't get the chance to fulfill their potential. There are so many other misconceptions that I will work with the charity to highlight, and hopefully change. What can we do to change this? I think in ways like we are now, having this chat is a great start. My platform gives me a privilege to be able to speak to many people, and I don't take that for granted. For the reader, talking to your friends, family, colleagues, whoever, about it is really important. There's so much information that's not popular knowledge, and so more conversations and research into ADHD can create more understanding and get rid of any misconceptions. Social media, especially TikTok, has been huge too, when used positively and correctly, to help spread awareness about what ADHD is and how it can impact people's lives. I think we need to focus on the young people of today and ensure the support is there from a young age. What advice would you give to someone who may have recently been diagnosed? I was so hard on myself before my diagnosis, but now, my dreadful timekeeping, concentration struggles and problems with emotional control, are something I can make sense of. I now know why these are a challenge for me, so I can take informed steps to help manage them. I would say please don't be ashamed of your diagnosis. It helped me get to where I am today. I hope that if someone receives their diagnosis today, they are brought comfort and greater clarity, as I know it did for me. I'll continue to say it, but ADHD can be a superpower. How did you feel when you were first diagnosed? I remember feeling quite relieved. ADHD is something I've lived with my whole life, whether I knew it or not, and it's only been in my adult years that I have understood what was happening and why I felt so different from my peers. Before being diagnosed, a lot of my symptoms were getting worse, which rang the alarm bells for me. It almost felt like a ticking time bomb. So, I definitely felt relief more than anything else. You've opened up about feeling different when you were younger. How does it compare to now? I always thought as a child something was wrong with me. At that age you compare yourself a lot, and I compared myself to my schoolmates. They didn't seem to work in the same way I did. Once I was diagnosed, it felt like a weight was taken off my shoulders. I now understand that the way I think is what makes me special and unique. It's fine to feel different from other people. Do you wish you had been diagnosed sooner? I think it would have made life a little easier, especially when I was younger. But, as I previously mentioned, I believe my journey can help others struggling with their own diagnosis or symptoms. I can speak up for and help people with neurodiverse minds like mine. It's definitely not a role I take lightly. How has your life changed since you were diagnosed, either negatively or positively? The positives outweigh the negatives. That sense of relief I mentioned earlier has made me a happier person to be around. I don't get as overwhelmed as I did before my diagnosis. I'm also so appreciative of the love and support I've received since revealing my diagnosis, especially after the jungle. People stop me in the street to talk about it, and send me hundreds of positive messages on social media. It's so amazing that people would take time out of their day to message me and tell me I'm doing a good job. What is it like living with ADHD on a daily basis? For me, prior to getting diagnosed, I would misplace things, struggle with paying bills, forget to message my friends and family back. It was overwhelming and uncontrollable. Since my diagnosis, I feel calmer. It feels like the world is a little less crazy and I'm finding it much easier to work through unbalanced tasks. Don't get me wrong, there are still bad days, but they are fewer and far between. Do you have any other exciting projects coming up that you can share with us? Pete and I have some really exciting things in the pipeline. We have our brand new Staying Relevant podcast tour, so get ready for round 2. We are also hosting the NTAS Red Carpet, which we are buzzing about. I have a few more projects in the planning, but I can't share just yet. Watch this space. Sam Thompson has partnered with charity ADHD UK. Visit adduke.co.uk for info.